strength, Nine of Cups. You're in a wish fulfillment because of your strength. It's like you didn't realize you had this strength. You didn't believe that you had the capability to be as strong as the universe or God, source of energy, has asked you to be. Behind every strong person is a story that gave them no choice. That's in one of the decks that the Reckoning Company sent me. Behind every strong person is a story that gave them no choice. You weren't given a choice within this strength, but now you're looking at like the things that you have made it through or gone through. You're like, that in itself is a whole wish fulfillment. That's one thing that you have that they don't. Like if they had to walk a mile in your shoes, they wouldn't have made it, and you made it down years and years and years, maybe even decades, where they wouldn't even make a mile. And within that is that wish fulfillment. 10-10. The TV in front of me, the score is 10-10. 10-10. You completed that cycle. You didn't know you had it in you. You never thought you had it in you, and especially probably put it off for a really long time because you didn't think you were capable, but you didn't know that you were more than capable. Even though it was going to hurt, it was going to be painful, it was going to be excruciating, you did it. You're unexpectedly surprised at yourself. When pigs fly is what you thought you would be able to make it through something that you just made it through. When pigs fly, but you did. But you did, and look at you, sitting pretty. Sitting pretty. Emotional fulfillment. Ultimate emotional fulfillment. You've at least had some sort of glimmer of rainbow, or at the pot of your gold in your rainbow. Somewhere. Somewhere. Seven of Cups. You see that you have to, this is like the only choice you recognize and realize because of what it took you internally, the inside, like how strong you had to be able to make it to where you're at. You recognize and realize that you have to have boundaries. You don't want to have boundaries because that could like trigger a people-pleasing wound or an abandonment wound here or something. You don't want to come off as cruel and mean, but normal people have boundaries, especially when you've worked as hard as you've worked to be able to get to where you're at. And it's like you're seeing that the only choice here is to protect yourself, to be very selective, to be able to hold your boundaries here because you know yourself. You know yourself very well, and what seems to happen is you prioritize other people's feelings or emotions or what's going on in their life over your own, to a fault. It's one of your worst qualities, but you're learning how to prioritize self. And that's why these boundaries are so strong, not because you want to keep people out, but it's giving people the roadmap of how to access you in your life. If they want access, this is the rules they have to attain to because you work too hard. And you know, if you just let them in willy-nilly and where you're at and how hard you work to get where you're at, you know yourself so well. You've really, really swam to the depths to meet yourself. And you know how wrapped up and consumed your empathy you get in other people's issues or problems or burdens that you'll go and fix them. Meanwhile, in between time, you've abandoned yourself to do so. And you can't let that happen because you're not in a place in your life where you can, where you are settling, where you're not allowing yourself to reach your limitless potential, where things are holding you back, where you can't expand and explore in your limitless potential, where it's dragging you down and you start to wage a war inside of yourself. And then that's whenever it takes you to dark places and spaces. It isn't a matter of you not loving them, and that's the reason why you have boundaries. No, it's because of how much you love yourself and them. You're trying to, you want to be the best for them, right? Well, you can't be the best for them without those boundaries. Because without those boundaries, you will literally wither yourself to nothing. Then you'll be no good for nobody. You just know yourself. You're not like everybody. And they have to understand, and understand that. Oh, you can play the tape out in scenarios. Yes. You've realized, you've waken up. Okay. Foresight, wake up. Feels like you've learned how to be able to play the tape out for yourself, almost like moment by moment. Like you're being presented a situation, we're being presented choices about 20 million times a day, and every single time you're presented a choice in your day-to-day reality, you really, really evaluate and come to like a quick judgment or a quick wake-up call of, is this going to help me in the future? Is this going to benefit me with how I know I am to be? And how much healing I've done and how much work I've put into myself to get to myself to where I'm at. You're not like normal people. Normal people can freaking be like functioning in like a mess. You're not. You really have to have like certain boundaries put in place so you can thrive. So you make judgment calls based off of like, is this going to help me in my future, in my family's future, or those that are in your life, right? That are under your umbrella. And it's like, this is what you're seeing and potentially what other people are starting to see about you. And it's an unfortunate thing and it's a sad thing because you recognize and realize some people are not willing to respect those boundaries or rise up to meet you where you're at. But everything, that's not on you. That's not on you, my love. And you liberating yourself of that responsibility of you thinking that is on you is the thing that you're working on letting go this season and becoming at peace with that. Recognizing that your battles or their battles are not your battles. You can't make growth and change happen. The boundaries are to keep them in, not keep them out. I love you.